This is a lizard.
And this lizard, it can't talk. But this lizard does have feelings. So, if the lizard can't talk, how do you know what it's feeling? Well, I'm going to tell you today.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Knowing what your bearded dragon is feeling is kind of important. Obviously, you want to know if they're feeling stressed or angry, but you also want to know if they're feeling happy so that you can keep doing whatever's making them happy. So let me start with the color of their scales. Now we all know that lizards like chameleons can change colors, but bearded dragons actually have the same ability. And similarly to chameleons, bearded dragons will change colors depending on how they're feeling. If your bearded dragon's a darker color, this usually points to them being more stressed. If they're lightly colored, they're all giddy and jolly. Now, as you can see here, their tummies are pretty white, and their tummies don't usually change color. Unless they are distressed, and in that case, you'll start to notice there's weird dark patterns on their tummies. Now, if you have a younger bearded dragon, this is kind of normal because they're not totally in control of what color they are yet, and it might not even mean anything. And Brittany still has a few faint marks, but these aren't stress marks because she's just generally darker right now. Now, if these tiny faint dark spots were super patterned and defined, then yeah, they would be stress marks. Now, if your bearded dragon's beard is black, this can mean three things. They're sick, they're stressed, or they're lonely, and they want a female. Besides, this loneliness could also just mean they miss you, and they want to be held by you. But obviously, it's not as simple as dark bearded dragon equals sad bearded dragon, because they change color to regulate their body temperature. When they're darker, it can also mean that they're trying to absorb more heat. So colors alone really isn't enough to tell you what's going on in that complex lizard mind. Alright, so I'm going to go over a couple more mannerisms, but there's a twist. My lizard has never done any of these. Or if she ever has, she stopped doing it, so I have no footage of it. So if your lizard doesn't do any of these like mine, it's totally normal. And also, from now on, I'm going to be using clips of other people's lizards, so none of these are mine. Okay, next, the arm wave. Okay, so we all know what waving is in the human world. It's how you say hi to people. And in the bearded dragon world, it actually has a similar meaning. Sometimes they're waving to you and they're actually saying hi. But most of the time they're waving as a form of submission. Essentially in the wild, sometimes bearded dragons will wave to each other as a way to say we don't want no beef. Okay, next, the head bob.
POV, so they calling you Bob.
Alternatively from the waving, the head bob is a way to signal dominance. Though this can sometimes mean stress or excitement. Now sometimes when a bearded dragon bobs its head slowly, it actually means the opposite, and it's another submissive thing. Now, if you have a male bearded dragon, this could also be a mating dance. Okay, so my bearded dragon does this next behavior, so now you're actually going to see her do some of these mannerisms. Okay, next ability, puffing up. So have you ever wondered why bearded dragons are called bearded dragons? Well, it's because they can puff up their beards, and it looks like they have a beard. It looks like they are a dragon with a beard. But their beard isn't the only thing they can puff up. They can puff up their torsos too. So that way they can get even more round and fat than they already are. The reason they can do this is because it makes them look bigger, so it makes them look scarier to predators. Not only this, but they're spiky. So imagine you were looking at a piece of chicken, suddenly it inflates and there's spikes coming out of it. Now you probably don't want to eat it, huh? So they do this when they feel like they're going to get eaten. They feel threatened or angry. Sometimes. Most of the time when they inflate, they're actually just basking. Getting big and puffy increases their surface area, so it increases the amount of heat that they can absorb. Couple more straightforward mannerisms. If their tail is twitching, it's usually a sign that they see prey and they want to eat it. If they're hissing and biting, you can probably guess
Really mad.
These are normal when you have a new bearded dragon and they are not used to you yet. But if you've had them for years and they suddenly start hissing and biting you, then there might be something wrong with them. Glass surfing is when bearded dragons are trying to walk out of their cage. This could be because they're just bored and they want something to do. They're hungry and they want you to feed them. Or there could be something wrong with their enclosure. Like in this video, this was when I was setting up her cage. So she's trying to leave her cage because there's something wrong with it because there's nothing in it. So there you go, that's my rundown of how to understand this strange, mysterious creature. But these are just a couple common signs found in bearded dragons. Not even all of them though, because she doesn't even do all of them. Sometimes it just depends on your bearded dragon and you need to own them long enough to understand how they're feeling.